Okay, so are we going? We're starting. It's like really quiet. Yeah. Should we go first because Ruth and I are doing the first meeting, right? Meeting one, and then go through that? Or did y'all want to do something different?
Can you not hear me?
Now I can. Now we can. What did you say, Jen?
I said, yeah, that way works.
Okay. Hey, Ruth, do you mind talking because you did a really great job?
Okay, I'm here, guys, but I'm in the dark. As you can see, we had a blackout. our all our lights are out, so hopefully,
Oh
the
no.
battery is, keeps, working for me. Um, but yeah, definitely. So I already posted it on the document that Jennifer shared with all of us. Um, the first session that we're going to be conducting, Carissa and I. It gives you kind of a structure. So within that, you will be able to see the activities. We might change them, but you can get a clear view of what now we were working on. Maybe you have any questions, you can go ahead and just shoot. Um, I'll turn it over to.
Where did you put it, Ruth?
It's already on the documents that we shared that Jennifer posted it up there. It's probably way at the bottom of the of everything we wrote on there. Um, Let me try to see
Yeah,
it,
it's
guys.
underneath everyone else's.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it's
just
formatted a little bit differently.
uh-huh. Okay. Let me see.
Oh.
So, oh, you know what? It doesn't show on me because I'm having trouble with the internet, guys. It says that it's the site the page is not available.
Okay.
So,
Is there actually now that is there someone that can share this so we can see the document? Because mine is now saying only read only. And I don't know if I have an updated one.
I can share it.
Okay.
Can y'all see this?
Yeah. Yeah. There it is.
so it kind of gives you an idea of what we're going to be doing on our first, meeting. That way, you guys can also be prepared. You can have an expectation of how it's going to unfold, and it gives you an explanation of the importance of starting and explaining, the theories we're going to use in our first session. Hopefully, it helps. Um, and like I said, we might be changing the activity, right, Carissa? We might,
Well,
or
you
you guys have one.
so Ruth shared this afterwards and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And I had already done some activities.
Uh-huh.
And so yes, I think that that's kind of fluid. We can decide on that later. I did add the activities. If you guys are able to see it, I put it on that week one. I don't know if y'all are in italics. It's not towards the bottom. Like if you go back up, yeah. Let's see if it saved it because I think some of us have different versions of this, and so it keeps wigging out.
Is it supposed to be here or higher up?
Oh, you're good. You're getting there. So go to week one. It's
So higher.
coming up. Yeah. So wait.
Because
No,
this is from last week.
no. Don't go. Yeah, you passed it. Keep going down. A little slowly. It was the one where it was like
Yeah, keep
we
going. You're about to get there. It says first meeting agenda. Oh, that's the one.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
this
I don't know
is
where. I don't know where
It's
week
never
1
very
went.
long.
Okay, then it's back. Are you talking about the one you highlighted it in yellow?
I didn't do any yellow stuff. I put it on week 1 and I did activities, but even what you're showing right now with all that yellow stuff, like I'm not even seeing it on this document. So, is anyone having issues with like the way it's transferring, or you're seeing exactly what it is?
I can't see anything with week 1 on it.
Exactly, like it's gone on here, but if I go to this other one that's not the latest for you guys, like there's a whole section. It's under stage 2 initial orientation stage.
Is
And
it
then it's
like
like
higher up? Like, did you do it under an old week?
yes, yeah, I did.
Okay, let me look
So-
higher.
But I mean, it wasn't that far back. Maybe. Ugh, that's a lot of stuff there. Oh, I think you're getting closer. Yeah.
Okay, I'll move this down then, since this is from back like week like 4.
Oh, so you
Is
just
it, are you
passed
talking
it.
about this?
Oh, but see, there you go. Like I've done it twice and I've added things and it's not even on there. That's
It's
annoying.
supposed to be here and it's not.
I added like a huge pieces of like activity things that we can do. So like I said, I think we all have different versions of it. And so we keep working on it. And then when we have it, at least that's been my problem. Am I the only one that's having that problem?
Well,
I'll say when I was editing it, it seemed like everyone else was also equally working on it. So I feel like I've been getting an updated one as people are actively editing.
Yeah, it's really weird. Everything I am putting, it's not on there. Okay. Well, what I can do is, could I just copy and paste it to the group me? And then y'all can add it on there?
Mhm.
Because I had it with the group with Ruth. And then while I'm doing that, if y'all want to move on and we don't have anything more to say, we can move on.
Before we move on, can you guys check if you can access the link that I just put in the chat is to the intake form?
You added a link to our
Yeah.
group me?
Just to the chat right here.
Oh, the chat here.
Yeah.
And click it, you're saying?
Yeah, they should pop up the finalized intake form.
I see it. It's there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
Sorry, were you copying it right now? Did you want me to paste it over? Or did you want to just wait?
No, I don't want to waste
Okay.
time. I can copy and paste and then we can keep going if you're okay with that, Ruth.
Yes, I'm through.
Okay, if we're ready to move on, that actually kind of works because I'm week 2 anyways. But I just wanted to check in with everyone first. Since I can't see y'all on my screen, you might have to unmute to tell me if I need to wait.
I think you're good to go.
Okay, cool. So Matthew and I had week 2 and 6. We kind of just split it in half. So for week 2, we talked about we wanted to identify stressors. So the activity I found was a stress diary. So the way that flow would be was like introduction, which is what I took from like what we already previously talked about, recapping the first session, addressing, we're going to be identifying our stressors today, reminding the group of different like confidentiality and respectful expectations, explaining why identifying stressors is important to the journey. And then the activity itself, the stress diary, at first, like as the facilitator, will walk the group through stress diaries, explaining what they are, which is logging situations that trigger stress. Do an example, maybe two, depending on flow of time. You can see, like I kind of have the breakdown of what that looks like. For a stressful event, write down the situation, your thoughts, your feelings, your behaviors, environmental factors, and then also like coping mechanisms. Once we walked through that as a group, for an example, allowing like, I had to guess on time, y'all. Are we doing 1 hour meetings? Are we doing, is it a 1 hour meeting that we're doing?
I think so.
Okay, just
It
making
should
sure.
be.
Well, Ruth mentioned something on her references and you said 90 minutes. I think it's a little
Yeah, I
longer
did
for
put
group
that.
meetings.
Are we doing an
It
hour and
should
a
be
half?
soon, though.
Okay, well, all the
know.
times can be adjusted. So I underlined them, so I remember to change it if we need to make it longer. But allowing time for members to practice their own examples that they can think of, providing time for a group to voluntarily share their examples if they want to, you know, group feedback, all the wonderful things. In wrap up, just encourage continued practice. If we need to address like tips, doing that. Encouraging, hey, you need to find time to do this, whether that works best for, hey, this happened in the moment, I want to journal it right now, or hey, I'm going to do it like right before I go to bed every day or in the week, whatever works best. And then I also put, if we have time allotted at the end of the practice, also just introducing the cognitive restructuring, just to prepare the members for upcoming sessions. And then homework is to practice using the diary and also like in piece with the coping mechanisms aspect, coming up with 2 coping strategies that we want to use. So like that last piece where it says, what did you do to cope? Like in the journal, you would explain, this is what I did in the moment. But then also we're assigning the homework of, okay, come up with, is this what you want to use as your coping strategy? Do we think there could be a healthier one? What's a healthier one we want to try to use moving forward? Anybody have any questions, thoughts, edits? And then I also, just so y'all know, I highlighted the link in red, just for like, so I know for references, before, so after we met last, I went through all of our, anytime we put a link or a reference or a resource down, I went through and went ahead and made it for us so we can start collecting it. So I just highlight it in red so I know to find it and to add it to that. So just FYI, if I'm highlighting things in red, that's why.
That's good.
Okay. I don't know if y'all want me to keep sharing my screen or not. Y'all just let me know. I feel like I can't see y'all, so I'm just talking to myself, looking at
It's
this
probably a good
document.
idea to just keep sharing it. So that way
Okay.
everyone, and also so that way our teacher can see what we're going over more easily.
Okay, perfect. Week 3.
Oh, are we gonna do it in order? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so for week 3, I was kind of adding some of what I wrote down on a separate document, but essentially what I was thinking is doing a little introduction, and since week 3 is about identifying and reframing cognitive distortions, then we can teach the members how to recognize cognitive distortions in the first place, and then educate and model and practice the catch, challenge, change strategy. And then also introducing and teaching how to apply the thought record to real life events. And for the homework, it would be practicing the thought record strategy on one real life event and then being ready to share that for the next on the next session. just rough draft.
Yeah, I was also kind of working on some things on my own document, like kind of like thinking of other activities that we could add, but like I hadn't really finalized anything yet either.
What is the catch challenge change?
So catching a cognitive distortion, then figuring out what's irrational about it and how to challenge that so that you can change it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's there. I'm sorry. Catch the thought challenge and change it.
Pretty much it for week 3.
Who's on week 4?
Okay, so week 4 and 8 was Jennifer and me. We decided for week 4 we were gonna do the cognitive restructuring. So we were gonna do it in class. So kind of do it like everybody could participate in it. So we were thinking kind of like a whiteboard or well, not a whiteboard, but here, right? And we could all kind of like mention like thoughts that go through our heads and then kind of like catch them, challenge them, and of course change them. We also added a worksheet, but I don't know if you guys could see it on the document. I think it's very kind of like
Formatted weird, yeah.
yeah, sorry about that. But we were basically thinking about that. And then for homework, we were just going to add the support system, which is just implementing that idea of like, hey, what's a support system and who do you think it could be that support system? So what do you guys think?
Situation, thought, it's a discussion. Would you guys go first?
I think that's good. I like, since that is like a practice skill, I do like that we're doing that activity twice. Like we can introduce it in week 3 and really effectively practice it in week 4.
Yeah. I'm gonna prep for week 5. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing what you're saying for homework for prep for week 5. Was that week 5 that you were on?
No, we're on week 4, but the way that we're kind of setting it up, you know, it's weird since we're all doing different sessions, not the right after the other. We are still setting up like the homework, whoever is on week 5 to talk.
Got it. Well, week 5 was Ruth. And sorry guys, I just feel so lost because of this document thing. So I can see it, but now there's like a total blank there. And I added activities on the GroupMe for that, but I don't have that formatted. Yeah. But you guys were talking about it in 4 about support system. And I don't have anything that has to do with that. So we're going to have to change that in order to accommodate that.
We can change it. So what was, I thought that was, what? Guys' topic?
The what? I'm sorry.
The topic, like what you're gonna be working written it, but that's why I went back to where we wrote down all of the content and the meetings. And I know for group 5 we have different. Oh, because week 4, I guess we wrote practice one of the preventative ways to reduce. Oh,
Yeah.
preventative ways to change the homework.
Yeah. I think that we need to come back to us because sorry, it sounds like I'm ill prepared, but it's just because of this document that's throwing me off. And I can't access it. I can't see. I think because we have all the weeks scattered and it's all over the place, like it's not just one document. that I'm getting a little confused. And maybe I'm the only one.
The thing that we were looking at the very beginning, that was for week 1, right?
Yes.
That thing that
and
that long
yeah.
thing? Okay, so I can, like, after this, I can format that and move that up under week 1. So the activities that you had found that are, like, missing on this document, was that for both of the weeks, or was that exclusively for week 5?
So what you put for week 5 is what I was thinking for week 5. And then I put
Okay.
something else for week 1 that you could add on there. But it could still be the same format that Ruth used. So if you wanted to copy and paste it, and then we can kind of just edit it.
Okay.
If that
I'm just
makes
making
sense.
sure, because at least this is like a general guide, and then we can make sure it has everything later, as long as everything's in its right idea of right spot.
Okay.
And then we can get, is this everything that you had, or did you need to add more information to the document?
Well, no, that's all for now.
Okay, just making sure.
All right, I'll go into week 6. So week 6 is all about like trying to normalize all of these experiences that we are experiencing, and how to make us feel like, hey, like I'm not alone in this feeling, like I'm not the only one, like it's not so crazy that I feel this way. So something I thought of, because normalizing experiences is like really, obviously, like really good for group therapy with stuff like this. And so the activity is called Common Threads Mapping. It's pretty simple. Everyone in the group just comes up with 1 or 2 challenges or stressors that they have faced in grad school, and then talking about it in a group. So everyone is sharing like 1 or 2 things that they have faced together, and then the facilitator, me, would I was kind of having trouble in like how to explain this, but they would go around and talk about like some of the similar things that people are facing. So like multiple people are dealing with a feeling of isolation or work-life balance. So you're not alone in that. And then talking about how many of our struggles overlap with each other, and trying to get others like in the group to talk about like, okay, how does it feel to hear that someone else in the group, someone that you know now, feels pretty similar to you? How does it feel to hear that someone else is dealing with the exact same thing? And then like a follow-up thing would be like, what's something you learned from someone else in the group that like you didn't expect? Or how did it, like saying it out loud or writing it, I might switch it and make it the homework. Like, how did it make you feel hearing that you're not alone with this feeling? And then for homework, I did kind of forget that part of the homework that we talked about last time, I think is, wait, where'd it go? Hold on. I didn't write it down right here. It was somewhere else. Oh, wait. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, no, just during the meeting, we'll talk about resources for termination, like resources for afterwards. So it's not homework, just kidding. All right. So the homework for this week would be just writing about some of these feelings and a moment in the group that made you realize like you weren't alone, and how it made you feel and why it made you feel that way. And then potentially, if you heard something like a strategy that you learned from another member that you want to try this week, like if someone else is feeling one way and they dealt with it by doing this, it's like, oh, okay, maybe I can try that. And so it's a lot of just discussing how people feel and how it makes you feel. from that. I hope that made sense, me explaining it.
That was good. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's my activity and homework for week 6.
So, since week 7 is mostly about building and using support systems, the outline that I wrote down is opening with an icebreaker and then discussing why support systems are important and why social connections or how social connections help you manage stress and anxiety. Then we can do an activity where everyone shares 3 contacts or 3 people that they would feel comfortable reaching out to, and how they can reach out and when they would reach out, like what feelings or what struggles they would be going through, where they would need to reach out to this person. And then for a role play activity, we can practice with each other. Also, I wrote down possibly introducing termination. Since it's already week 7, we had talked about not leaving that for the very last session. So that's probably something that we'll do. And then for the homework, it's to contact one of the 3 people that you shared. And that's it.
That was good.
Then week 8, that is the final session. I didn't include the warm up, but the warm up is to be for sharing one stress management strategy. And over stress toolkit worksheet, which I don't know about. But really, we're probably thinking self, and then kind of ending the closing and the reflection, since it is going to be like a Zoom thing and we can't do it physically. Sometimes, sorry, I'm like shy today. I don't know. But when you're doing Zoom, it can be a lot harder than when you're doing, a physical, everyone's right next to each other. You kind of get that closeness. So we're also thinking of maybe doing an activity, like passing the stick. And that way we can kind of personalize it, and like do the connections that we've made like throughout the group, and like the virtual stick, and be like, I'm passing the stick to X person. And that way no one answers a question that they're uncomfortable with. We're just gonna put it up on the screen, these questions. And as we go around with like the stick, they can together and they can choose to answer, like piece of advice, and if they are comfortable.
Was that it, Jen?
Yeah, that was us.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear.
Can you go back, Maddie, to week 8? Okay, so stress toolkit worksheet. Okay. Thanks. All right, guys.
Do you want to give us like potentially just some of the ideas that you had for week 5? I know like you kind of lost all of it.
Sorry,
but, like, do you have like, an idea of it, just that we can say
yes.
it in the video.
My admin in me is like, this document's driving me nuts. So I'm having to really focus. But week 5, if I were to follow the format that you guys were doing, that was so great. You've had kind of like the intro, and then you had like an activity, and then you had like a discussion, and then you had like the homework, right? So if we're talking about preventive ways to reduce stress, then we're segueing to that. The intro, if you want to write on there, the intro can be, hey, do you remember? Recap. Okay, do you remember what we talked about in the previous week? Which the previous week was on what? On, what would you say to a friend with this thought? What was the, that one? That. Yeah, I mean, the intro could be kind of like, is anyone able to implement that catch thing? Could we say that? I want to say catch and release. That's not what it's called. Catch and talk, what? See, 3 C's, right?
Catch, challenge, change.
Catch, challenge, change. Okay, so we could do that. Was anyone able to da-da-da? And then maybe 1 or 2 people could share on that.
Wait, but
Don't.
is the catch challenge change? That's week 3 though, not 4.
The week 3 was like an intro of it, and week 4 is more of the implementation of it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, but that would be really brief, like maybe like 5 minutes or something, or not even 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah, we're not going to dwell on that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Never mind.
It's okay. And 5-ish. And then an intro. And then we do the activity. We're going to segue into this week. We're going to be talking about preventive ways to reduce stress. What does that look like? But before we get into the details of it, let's do an activity together. Right. And so in order to help us, so I did that. I also did role playing for this. But this circle of strengths, a strength-based activity where members identify and acknowledge strengths in themselves and others. I thought that this would be important because when we're stressed, we're thinking of our weaknesses and not thinking of our strengths. So focusing on something else, refocusing on it. So that was the intent behind it. But we can change this if we feel like it's weak. Comments? On the activity, that is. Okay, so then after that, go ahead, sorry.
You go.
I feel like we haven't really done much, like many activities where it's like we talk about like the strengths that we have. It's a lot of like identifying like what stresses us out, kind of like what's wrong. And so I do really like this.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I also really like it. My only hesitation, and I guess more concern than hesitation, is like if circle of strength is our activity, then how long is role playing going to be? Because I just worry about if there's 2 activities, will we have time to flush them both out?
Right. No. I was listing out more than 1, so we can delete that and keep circle of strength, because if that's something that we're not really have honed on, then we can spend, I don't know, 25 minutes on it. I'm just kind of throwing it out there, right?
Maybe don't take it off just yet. It can be like one that you choose, like whenever it comes up. If we keep it right here, it's more like, hey, like we can do this or this, and then whoever leads the segment, they ultimately choose which one they do and what they focus on.
Yeah, or alternatively, we keep the strengths, because I put on their guided journal writing. In some ways, that could be almost like a homework thing. After we've done the strengths thing, how did it make you feel? Or if you weren't able to share anything, or were there other strengths in other people? Do you know what I'm getting at with this? Like a sounding board, kind of like feedback because of the activity. And maybe that will be flushed out in the discussion after activity. So activity, discussion, homework, or wrap up activity. Yeah. Yeah. So obviously the activity and the wrap up are going to be, the discussion time are going to be the chunk of it, the most time.
I think that matches with everyone else's as well.
Yes, I was copying you guys. Is that better, Matt?
I mean, I think it just helps like to
No, I know.
See it, at least some of the words on.
Yes,
where
I
you're
agree.
going.
So now that I've said that, is that something that we can work with, right?
Definitely.
Okay.
I have a question for the group that's doing week 7. So I think that's why I was confused. So are we able to somehow incorporate the stress toolkit worksheet?
The what worksheet?
Is my audio like really low?
And it goes in and out.
Oh no. Okay. Can we incorporate the stress toolkit worksheet in week 7 so that we can reflect on it and see what we need to discuss specifically in week 8?
Is that a worksheet that should be like homework or something that should be done in group?
That's a good question, and I want to open it up to you guys because I was actually wondering if we would have enough time to even add that into week 7. But I also know that that was the way that we were doing it so that they can have their, I guess, privacy to say things that they might not share in the group. And then week 8 is where we allow them to kind of talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if it's like, give it to them.
If we want to do it in group, I think we have time just because I think like the activity for week 7, like it has the flexibility to maybe not take up as much time as some of these other ones. Since it's like identifying people to reach out to, like it doesn't need the structured time of explaining what to do, walking people through it, and then them doing it. So like I think we have room to add it if you think.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, an idea is like if for some reason those things do go long, you can just push it and make it homework.
That's true.
Homework for week 7?
Yeah.
Because it needs to get done before we meet on week 8, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. So we would need it.
So try to do it in session 7, and if we can't get it done, then it's homework.
I don't think we have the option for it to be homework because then we as the counselors wouldn't have the time between the sessions to like reflect on their answers and see what we need to talk about in week 8.
That's true.
And also you're kind of adding something else to the closure. Like it's supposed to be really reflective and really bringing it down to, like now we're adding one more thing, something kind of new.
Well, technically the stress toolkit is kind of them going back to all the strategies that they've learned in the past. So it's kind of them just saying like, oh, okay, like I learned this for this. So it's kind of like giving them the tools to leave with that, with those skills.
Okay.
But
Okay.
honestly,
So
it's
it's
up to
not
you
new
guys.
information. No. But what
it's just them reflecting on what they already know. It's just
So-
worded differently.
Okay, if with that in mind, do we want to add it to week 6 homework instead? So technically the counselor, like people could be bringing it, quote unquote, to week 7, since week 6 homework's already reflection on strategies.
I like that idea, actually. Yeah, and then it's not something that they have to talk about in week 7, but that's something to prepare us for week 8. Yeah. I'll take that off of week 7.
Is there anything else do y'all think specifically for like the whole all 8 weeks? 8 weeks, yeah. That we need to go over, or should we kind of talk about what next week is going to look like, since next week is our first big meeting?
Next week is week 7.
Oh, it's the next one.
Yeah, don't scare me.
So I'm getting my weeks mixed up. There's a long class.
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask about next week as well. I was a little confused between, because like this week is like the final, this is our final planning session. And then next week is when we turn in the group plan. And like the description of the assignment is literally just like, assign who's doing what weeks, which like we did 2 weeks ago. But it's worth a lot. So I almost wonder, is the paper version of our final proposal due this week with our video, or is that paper version due next week? Do you get what I'm saying?
No,
I bet
sorry.
it's just like
I
this
think
week is the video and like kind of, finalizing what we're doing. And then we take it all and just write it all down neatly instead of like, the document.
Yes,
And
I
then
can't wait
that
to
is
see the
what we
neat copy.
next week.
Yeah.
I'm
That's my
eager to
gut.
see the neat. Yes. Yes, so that means it's one person working on it in some ways, right? Because, or I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know.
Yeah, because, and this was like the additional piece, which, because I guess the timing is just like, okay, do we need to get this done by Sunday, or do we have another week to do that? For the finalized proposal, I could be wrong. I definitely want someone else to like look at it too and get their analysis on the instructions. I think we have to go back to like, you know how all the instructions have like those 5 questions that we kind of talked about in the introduction? I think we need to like address those again with what we've finally discussed. 'Cause like technically speaking, in week 1, what we have put down is no longer accurate. So I think in our final proposal, we have to re-answer those 5 questions, and then we provide the breakdown of like week 1, these people are gonna do this and all other things.
So one thought that comes to my mind. I think let's not think about this too much. I think this is really, really easy. I think it's just a clean up version of everything that we've done. Basically like that bottom portion of what it is. Week 1 is this: leader, co-leader, boom, boom, boom. Maybe on that top part, you're putting the goals and objectives. So title, goals, objectives. Week 1, this. Week 2, this. Week 3, this. Very clean cut. To answer all those questions, I think are not necessary in my opinion. Because what she's wanting to see is your final look. That is how I'm interpreting it. And it's only one person who's sending this. And it's actually not a lot of points. It's only 60 points. Sorry. I'm doing
It's
a
progress.
project in another class that's 240 points. So, but yes, at least that's my take. But y'all,
I mean, I agree, like, that's what needs to be in there. Like, I think we just provide the clean version. What am I looking, a uniform version of the breakdowns per week. Like, literally what we just did, just making it nice, neat, and all look the same format wise. I do think, though, like, there needs to be an introduction where we do answer those questions. Just because it was put in every single week, and it's like I said, like, technically speaking, as we've evolved, we've changed our answer from what we originally turned in. So I do think it just needs to be like introduction. Weird, because it's not a lot of information. It's pretty
Oh.
quick.
Okay, well, okay, if you're right, if you go back, because week 7 does not say this, but if you go back to all the other ones, it says it on the prompt. You will compile all
Yeah.
5 sections of your group proposal in one Word document, incorporating instructor feedback, and then all the outline, introduction, what is it? Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like that needs to be this week, and then next week is, who's doing what.
What do you mean that needs to be this week?
That was also my confusion of, do we need to turn in the paper this week? Because the instructions make it sound like the paper's due on Sunday and next
think
week's
it is.
not much.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
For this week,
Fine.
oh.
I will
And
say,
this week
guys, if
we're,
it needs to be done Sunday, I do have time on my hands this week.
so in addition to turning us our video, your group will then compile all 5 sections.
Yeah, I think the paper,
Uh,
which if we're wrong and it's due next week, then we get it done a week early. That's fine.
That's right, because she has to look at everything that we did, and then she offers us the feedback.
Cool. So do we want to go over those 6 things now?
Questions
it-
real fast.
Yeah.
We should have an answer somewhere, but yeah, like just to review to make sure we're all on the same page, I think it's a good idea.
Mhm.
Probably it's on page 1, or like the first, kind of in the beginning.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like at the beginning, like we've changed those answers since then. Because I know like one of our answers is like, what's your focus going to be? And we had like 5 different things, like abuse and trauma and anxiety and depression. And since then, obviously we've been like, okay, that's too much. We're going to do stress.
Okay. How about we take those questions and I put them at the very bottom, like the very bottom of the document, and we just type it out again.
I like that.
think
that.
that's
So we
smart.
don't delete what's on week 1.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that's the
We
best
still have
way
our
to go
trail.
about it.
Sorry.
All right. So
right.
number 1,
Well-
what is define the purpose and rationale for your group?
The purpose of the group. Actually, you
it's
could put
a-
it, yeah. Go ahead,
Psych-
sir.
Psychotherapy group for graduate students experiencing stress and anxiety.
Boom. What is your interest? And where did your inspiration come from? Oh, sorry. Yes.
I feel like
Okay.
inspiration is just, we're in grad school. We all have, dealing with a lot of stress.
Yep.
Interest? I don't know. I don't know for that.
Yeah, I think that's good.
So,
I
so
think
it's
it's
a
just saying like,
common,
why did we come up with this? It's something we all relate to. It's something we all felt comfortable talking about, going through, role playing.
number 3, what do you think your group meeting is?
I think that one is saying psychotherapy.
What do you think your group meeting is? Yeah, it kind of goes almost to the an informal needs assessment to assist with your rationale for your particular group.
Because that one seems, because again, like these questions started at the very beginning when we had a very vague idea of what we wanted to do. So I think the point of that was to say, like, if you had to classify, what would it be? So I think at this point we would say it's the psychotherapy group.
Makes sense to me.
Because like, yeah, that long paragraph of like asking essentially experts what they would classify that is.
Okay. Number 4, why is this group important? Some of this is a little redundant, but the same thing as number 2, or the same thing as number 1, the purpose.
Stress is bad. Anxiety is bad.
Why is this group important? Because it's good to be in a group setting with others to dialogue about an important topic like stress, and to role play, to discuss, to ask questions in a safe environment. Did you get that, Matt? Boom.
Yeah, that's a much prettier way of saying that.
Oh man, I can never spell environment. Whenever I'm typing.
And number 5, we've already said.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like 3 and 5 are just the exact same, almost.
And then 6, ideal potential members.
I just put students in grad school who are dealing with stress.
Graduate students,
Because I mean, because I don't think it needs to be like super complicated or deep, any of these.
Okay.
And then obviously, whenever we submit it, whoever submits it, take what I wrote and, if you want to make it sound better, please do.
I have a comment. So I think it's page 25, the one where it says first group session agenda, CBT stress management group. Would you guys want our weeks to look exactly like that?
I think that's a really helpful format for the facilitators themselves. I don't think we need the document to look like that because it's just gonna take up a lot of space. So like I was planning
Mhm.
on like if I was the ones like moving stuff around, because I know I offered it earlier, like probably just condensing it so it fits the way that all the other ones do. But like
Mhm.
I think that's a really good format like for the facilitators notes.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, definitely. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so right now I'm just kind of like flushing out. I'm like taking a look at like the weeks that we have here. I'm just trying to flesh out things that need to be fleshed out and just making sure that the formatting is kind of like similar throughout, so it doesn't look like choppy. Um, and I also was wondering if you guys were done with your weeks, just so because I'm still like kind of looking through it, so I don't want to like keep working and then have one of you guys submit. I'm still like kind of looking through it.
Well, I think, Maddie, you said you're gonna work on it, right? So then maybe just once you have a clean version, you can let us know and then we can look at it and kind of do like our own final draft of it. So when ideally do you think you could send it to us this week? I mean, it's Thursday already. But
Yeah, let me look at my calendar like real quick. I should be able, I don't know how busy everyone's Sundays are, but I should be able to do it Saturday if you guys want to review it Sunday. And then I work till noon on Sunday, but anytime after that, I could do any final edits that you guys think or whatever.
Okay, because I'll probably be free tomorrow afternoon. I'll be working on it sometime tomorrow afternoon. So
No rush. And if you need Saturday, like I'm not gonna get up super early or anything. So just let me know when you're ready for me to start.
Okay.
And then if
Okay.
y'all could highlight your resources red, that would be a big help.
Mhm.
do you
Um,
guys want to do like a whole like references? Like I'm not sure. Like, are we supposed to have like a
Yeah,
whole references page?
yeah, I think we need it. That's why it started. Like, so it's in alphabetical order and all the APA stuff. So like all of our old stuff before this meeting is already what's the word I'm looking for? Not combined, but like collected.
It's
Like we don't have to
called, I
go
think it's
back at
definitely.
all, but I assumed everything would be submitting would be APA
Definitely.
official.
mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so turning in the document on Sunday, which is the draft, right? And then someone else would turn in the video of this meeting, Deanna, right? So then next week, we wait for her to make those adjustments or revisions, and then we, yeah, work from there. Is that
Yeah.
right? Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, I think so. Because next week, the only thing it says on the instructions